This is so soft. My boyfriend just fucking walked in and scared the crap out of me.
Dun dun dun.
I'm leaving that in. That's a blooper. We're back in the corner. Hi everyone, my name is Ying Ying and welcome back to the Noodle Kids Knitting Podcast. Today we're gonna be talking about mostly whips because I only have one finished object. The knitting energy has been pretty chaotic lately. I really like to cast on, but then I just sort of put them aside or I ran out of yarn. So it's a little messy and all over the place. Plus it's been really cold and work has been extremely busy, so I was usually just really tired and I sometimes don't want to knit and I want to focus on one singular project. But yeah, I have my two cats in the room with me and they might do random stuff, so apologies for that. And also neighbors' kids are running around, also my heaters are clicking. Yeah, everything is all over the place. But let's get started. First of all, we're gonna... Oh, my cat is so cute. Look at him sleeping. Okay. Sorry if the camera angle changed. First of all, finished object. I have one pair of socks that's done. So these are the coffee break socks by Stone Knits. And they're gonna be for my mom's Christmas present. Like I said last time, I modified the pattern a little bit, so I don't have the coffee steam coming out, but I think it's still very cool. And I think Charlotte really likes it as well. She commented on my post on Instagram. If you don't follow my Instagram, the link is down below. She commented on my post saying that she likes it. I'm paraphrasing. But yeah, as some of you may have noticed, spotted, whatever, I made a mistake on top here. So one of the sock has a stripe, which is what's supposed to be like, and one doesn't. I think I just forgot when I was making the color work. I was like, yeah, I know what to do. And yeah, I forgot. But I think this is, the beauty of handmade stuff. Sometimes you make mistakes, and I think it just makes them more unique like that. So I'm gonna give this to my mom on Christmas. I don't know, my mom, I'm Taiwanese, and in our culture, at least in my household, we never really celebrate Christmas like other countries did. And our big holiday is the Chinese New Year. We never really like gift people stuff on Christmas. It wasn't like a special day. We don't get together to eat a big meal and spend time with family. A few years back, my mom started wanting to like celebrate Christmas a little, so we would go out and eat and we would do like a gift exchange, and that's been pretty fun. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a cute gift. And she loves coffee, so yeah, I thought this was a perfect pair of socks for her. She's like addicted to coffee. I talked about in my previous episode that I put elastics in the cuffs, but I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore because they tend to move around when I wash them. And recently I watched the Crazy Sock Lady Vlogmas. I've been watching a lot of knitting Vlogmas and it's been really fun. I don't know if it's in a Vlogmas or in like a regular video that she mentions that she washes like all of her hand knit socks in the washing machine and dry it on the lowest dryer setting, which I try to do that and it works perfectly. It's just that the elastic that I put in, like they moved around a lot and some even like came off. So I just took the elastic out, and I think the only reason that my sock doesn't fit me properly, not that it doesn't fit properly, because since it's wool, it like loosened during the day, right? So it tend to slide off my foot and my ankle. I thought putting in an elastic would help the sliding, which it did, but the elastic moving around doesn't really help the sock sliding anymore. So I just took it off, and I think I just need to find the correct gauge and size for my foot so it doesn't slip off that much. Anyway, we're gonna talk about whips next because I have very exciting acquisitions and I want to leave it for last. So here we go. So first whip that I have is my Musselburgh hat. It doesn't really look like anything right now, but I have about 10 centimeters going, and I think the pattern says it has to be a lot longer. So yeah. At first, I didn't want to get this hat pattern because everybody's talking about it, and it has a cast on that I've never tried before, and I didn't want to. My brain was too lazy to like learn a new technique. Happens sometimes. So I didn't get it. But I keep seeing people knit Musselburgh hats, but like a bajillion of them. I think Natalie from Knitty Natty, she's made like 3 already. Yeah, I just can't resist the pattern anymore, and it looks really cozy because it's a double layered hat and you can like fold the brim over too if you want to. I have 2 hand knitted hats. One of them is with the chunky wool, so it's like really warm. But the other one is like with a worsted, and I didn't use like smaller needles, so the gauge is tighter. So sometimes when I wear it, the wind gets through, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is not like a minus 10 degree hat. This is more like a 0 hat. So yeah, I wanted a thicker, not technically thicker, but just like more fabric layer hat. So I bought the pattern, and turned out it was not that hard. It was pretty easy to do. After I looked up the video, I was just too lazy to do it. But I didn't have the correct crochet hook size at the beginning. So I don't know if you can see. Probably not because the light isn't going through it. But the middle here is like the cast on, and my crochet hook was too big for the needle size. So the top of the hat has like tiny holes, but I just put it together with like a yarn tail end, and it looks fine. And it's gonna be like double folded, like I said, so I don't think it would be too much of a problem. But yeah, that's my Musselburgh hat. Oh, and the yarn is from Fireweed Fiber Co. And it's one of their color that it's been there for a long while. I bought this so long ago when they were still on Etsy, and they have their own website right now, and it's very cool. They're having, I think, a 20% sale on all the bases that they're getting rid of. So yeah, if you want some cool yarn in some cool color, go check them out. This colorway is the Black Emerald on the Sweet Pea sock base. I'm excited for this. It's gonna get a lot of wear. And funny story about this, so my boyfriend's favorite color is green, and it's like a deep forest green, so that Black Emerald was like one of his favorite color. But yeah, I wanted to make him a hat, but then I don't want to make him a gift that he doesn't want, because he's the kind of person who doesn't really like gifts. So at the point where I'm at the end of increases for my size, I went to him and I was like, do you want a hat? And he looks at me and he's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, then I'll just make this for myself. So now I'm gonna have a green hat when I'm done. The second whip that I have, that I just started today, is going to be just a vanilla sock. I'm gonna freehand this. It's gonna be 56 stitches with Afterthought heel. I think Afterthought heel is like my favorite heel, cause I started knitting socks with like the flat heel flap that you do, and then you do like a gusset decrease. So it looks like, oh, I have an example on my foot. Sorry for like dirty socks. This pair of socks is pretty old, but like these. So you knit this part flat, and then you knit the turn, and you do the gusset decrease. So yeah, that's the way that I'm used to knitting socks. Well, not used to. That's the way that I started knitting socks when I first knit socks. And I knitted like a few pairs, and then I started to find that the gusset work is a little boring because I didn't like small circumference knitting back and forth. I didn't like purling at the time. I'm like okay with purling now, but it's not my favorite. I still just like mindless knitting. After that, I knitted a pair of socks that in the pattern requires afterthought heel, and I just wanted another pair of vanilla socks with a different pattern. I got a free pattern on Ravelry, but I forgot what it is, and from who it is. If I find it, I'll put it up here. But yeah, the sock pattern called for a afterthought heel, and I never did it before. I was trying to find a pair of vanilla socks with toe up method because I've only knitted cuff down at the time. So yeah, I did the sock in toe up, and then it has the afterthought heel. And I learned the technique, and I was like, wait, this is easy. This is very easy. It's just extremely scary when you have to cut your knitting open, because basically the afterthought heel is, there's like true afterthought and like prepared afterthought. I don't know how people call it. Some people like measure their foot length, and then I think you have to put in a marker at like 5 centimeters before the end of your heel, or put in a lifeline before the end of your heel, and then you keep knitting the cuff and you do the ribbing if you want to, and then you cast off, blah blah blah. And the true afterthought heel is like you just knit a tube, and after you finish knitting, you like measure 5 centimeters till the end of your heel, blah blah blah. The way that it's done is that you have to cut open your knitting. So you pick like, knitting is like rows, right? You pick one row that you want to cut, and you put your needles on the row on top and at the bottom, and you cut open the middle row. And you should probably leave like a few stitches on the side so it doesn't completely open when you're knitting the afterthought heel. But the heel is basically the same construction as a toe. So decreases on both sides on like first, third, fifth, and seventh row, whatever. At the end, you just do a Kitchener stitch to close it up, and that should be it. So I did that, and I found out that this is actually a more enjoyable method for me to knit heels. So I think I've only been knitting like afterthought heel from then on. Only one pair or two pairs that I followed the pattern to did like the heel flap and gusset decrease and heel turn and whatever. But I think afterthought heel is like really easily adaptable into your pattern. If you're following like a sock pattern and it doesn't have color work that's connecting from the ankle to the foot, that would be super easy to put it in. I just find that it's very convenient, and you don't really have to worry about like turning, changing to magic. You have to use magic loop or DPNs, but you don't have to worry about like switching needles before and after. You don't have to knit flat. You don't have to have like a bajillion stitches on your needles. And I find that after you get a hang of it, it looks very neat. Look, I have no holes on the side. It's not that it's double fabric that it doesn't look like it doesn't have a hole. It really doesn't have a hole. I also tried the German short row turn, and I think I haven't really got a hang of it, so I don't really know how to do it correctly, and it leaves many holes on the side where I was talking about, because that's a lot of problem with people who knits like afterthought heel, is that they have big holes on the side where the middle row is like cut. But if you leave a few stitches at the edge not like completely pulled apart, you're gonna be fine for that problem. And you can pick up like extra stitches at the edge, like you would pick up stitches for sleeves. Might be a little advanced for a beginner, but after a few pairs of practice or a few sweaters of practice, you're you're gonna be totally fine. Anyway, that's a long rambling. But yeah, my Musselburgh hat and my sock that I'm gonna make. Actually, probably most likely for my friends on Christmas. This colorway has appeared on this channel before. It's the Feisty Fibres Knit City Purple. I still have a bunch left. 66 grams to be precise. I'm gonna make a pair of socks for my friend, and I'm gonna have to plan another color for another friend, so yeah. Originally made a colorwork sock that I designed myself, but I kind of just didn't want to do colorwork sock after that, so I'm just gonna make a plain vanilla sock with only one color, not even like a toe heel mini contrast color. I don't know, I'm just kind of tired of socks at this point. My second whip that is like a progress update is my Oslo sweater. Yeah, progress update of the Oslo sweater. So this is still very fun to knit because the color is just super fun. I'm almost done my first ball of fingering. The color is from J'adore Fibre, and I believe it's Christmas Cookie, and I have no way to verify it unless I talk to Shannon from J'adore Fibre. But yeah, I don't think it's worth it to mention it because it's not available anymore. I got it last Christmas. I got it around last Christmas, and I only got one skein of it. And then the rest of the sweater I talked about in the previous episode, I'm gonna use Explore Knit's Ice Cream Social Collection. The extra... wow, I still can't say extra sprinkles. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use that yarn because the colors are very similar, and it's both like a white plus like a cookie color and speckles. And the fluffy yarn that I'm using is Fibres Spades Cumulus, and I went to my local yarn store today to get more because I ran out of 2 balls already. And yeah, they had like an inventory mistake online, and I thought they had more, but they didn't have any online, and they didn't have any in store anymore. But yeah, Zoe, who's one of the owner, they're super nice, and they immediately ordered it for me. It comes in a pack of 10, so I think I'll be super set. I only need like 6 or 7 more because the Cumulus has less yardage than a mohair because it's a alpaca. But yeah, I think mohair is just too itchy for me. I was wearing my sweater number 18 from My Favorite Things Knitwear yesterday that I made with a strand of merino and a strand of mohair held together. I talked about it in previous episodes. It was just a bit too itchy on some part of my body. Usually it's fine when I'm just having like a normal day, but when I'm tired and more anxious, I have like increased sensory problem. So I just feel the mohair a lot more, and it's not really too comfortable. And I was just trying to be comfy, and it was just itching me, so I took it off and put on a blanket instead. Yeah, I think I'll have to use alpaca if I want fluffy sweaters from now on, but we'll see after the Oslo sweater if I like alpaca on me. It feels very, very soft, like a lot softer than mohair, so I think I'll be fine. We'll see though. The Oslo sweater is really fun to knit. The construction is same as like other drop shoulder top down sweater, but I think because of the yarn choice and the fluffy aspect of it, I'm just having a lot of fun making it. So I'm gonna get some more of that Cumulus yarn next week, and we'll see if I can finish it before the end of December. Now, on to the acquisitions. I'm so excited for this. Like I said, I went to the yarn store today, so I'm gonna talk about that first. So I got this yarn. I shouldn't have gotten it, but it's too pretty to pass on. This is a fingering weight. I think 75-25. Let me fact check that. Nope, 80-20 actually. 80% merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards. And this is by one of the owner at my local yarn store, Boutique Crochet & Co. Zoe, one of the owner, they have their own yarn dyeing business. It's like a separate account from their store account on Instagram. It's the Woolerton Estate Yarns, is their company name. And this line is the Manager in the colorway Florent. I think this would make a awesome pair of socks or another Musselburgh. Maybe I'll be like Natalie from Knitty Natty and I'll have like a collection of Musselburgh hat. I think this is gonna look super cute if it's held with a mohair as well. Not mohair, but alpaca. Baby Suri alpaca. But yeah, we'll see. I just really love the color. It's a mix of a bunch of color and it's a variegated mainly of neutral pink and purple with speckles of pink, orange, yellow, a little bit of green, and yeah, it's just really pretty. The two next skein is going to be a gift knit for my mom. She's been mentioning that her hands are really cold in winter and that gloves don't really do much for her. And I just think that maybe she didn't have, like, she only had like synthetic fabric gloves. So maybe some wool and alpaca gloves are gonna help her. So I got this. This is also from Woolerton Estate Yarn. They had a trunk show yesterday of like all the new like Woolerton Estate Yarn. And I missed it. I thought it was today. But this is a softly variegated sage color yarn. And it's just super cute. It's a little pastel-y, but it's like not too pale. It's in like the muted side, but it's still very beautiful. And I got the DK weight of the line Barbarella in the color Rita. This is 75-25, so 75 merino wool and 25 nylon. And I got the matching Suri alpaca that I don't have the tag of because I grabbed one without the tag. So smart. But yeah, I'm gonna pair these two together and make a really warm pairs of gloves for my mom. And I think I'm gonna do like a fingerless, like this, not with the finger, but just like the whole thing with like a flap on the back so she can like convert it into a full mitten. Shouldn't have gotten these, but really excited for these. And since they're gonna be for someone else, I think I have an excuse for it. Next yarn. So I splurged a little on Black Friday and I got myself some Fireweed Fibre Co. Sweet pea socks, I think. Is it? No. Oh my god, I did splurge. I got their violet socks. So Fireweed Fibre Co., they have 2 sock base from what I know, or at least 2 fingering weight from what I know. So they have the sweet pea socks, which is like the regular like 75-25 or 80-20 merino and nylon blend. They also have this luxurious violet socks, which is like 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. This is one of the colorway that they have for Christmas, and it's a variegated yarn. I think we understand the pattern here. I really love variegated and speckled yarn and pastel. Anything that's like variegated pastel, variegated speckle, pastel speckles, I'm just like, sign me up. Take my money. This is a variegation of several different colors. So we have a soft teal, we have a mix with a cream, we have some soft pink and some periwinkle. And yeah, that's it. And it has speckles of red and green for Christmas, I guess. But yeah, it's very pretty. And like I said, it has cashmere content. It's just luxurious and soft. Really, really soft. I think I'm gonna pair this with some alpaca. I don't know if I should use from Cumulus. It has a ice blue colorway. Or if I should get some Kama Rose Midnight Soul. Yeah. I'm debating which one I want because I haven't tried the Midnight Soul yet, but I saw somebody review it and they said that it's really good. But yeah, skin sensitivity difference and whatever. The Kamat Soul doesn't really have as much alpaca content than the Cumulus. The Midnight Soul also have tencel in it, and I've never tried tencel, so I don't know if I'll like it. Anyway, I got 4 skeins of this because they were having a sale of buy 2 get 1 free. So yeah, I got myself 4 skeins. Really excited for this. I don't know what I want to make with this yet. I was thinking maybe the Parks and Knit. Is it Parks and Knit? I think so. Parks and Knit Be Mine blouse, maybe. But I'm not sure because I don't know if I'll enjoy knitting only with fingering, because that pattern was written for anywhere from like fingering to DK, I think. But yeah, I have a sweater that I started a while ago with like fingering and gradient and whatever, but I think I'm just gonna frog it because I don't want to knit it anymore. Last thing for today, I have a very exciting acquisition that I talked about last week, and it finally came in. Sorry for plastic crinkle. It's the Hawari Bazaar custom order that I have. Ta-da! 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 And this color is the Peppermint Mocha in their DK. I wanted to save this so we can open it together. So let's go! Oh my god, they're so cute! Look at them! It's a heavily variegated yarn. By heavily, I mean the two variegated color are extremely contrasty. So you have a soft white with a dark brown that's leaning towards purple a little bit, so a purple toned brown. And on the white and both on the purple brown part, you have speckles of, oh my god, my cat is staring at me like he's fucking angry and he wants to kill me. On the white and both the purple brown part, you have soft speckles of Christmas green and Christmas red. So yeah, I couldn't resist. I had to have this. I think I shared it on my story. I was like, only two! And I put like a cry emoji. And Karine messaged me on Instagram and said that she could dye this up for me for a sweater quantity. And I said yes. So I ordered 5 skeins of it for a full sweater. And I'm not sure what I want to make with it. I'm thinking maybe the jacket number 1 again, because it works really well with like variegated yarn, even though it has a lot of texture, but we'll see. I haven't seen any like cardigan or sweater pattern that would be great for this yarn, because it's heavily variegated, so I don't think it's gonna look great on anything that has too much texture or too much pattern. So yeah, and I might just like save this yarn for some time else. I don't know, I'm just feeling festive with my yarn choices and purchases. I've also been looking into some self-striping socks, because I saw this Korean knitter, and I'm not sure if they're a knitwear designer because I can't read Korean, and they made this cardigan, and they said that the pattern or the cardigan is called like carrot cake, and they used a yarn that looks exactly like a carrot cake. Maybe not exactly, but it just gives the carrot cake feel. It's a softly variegated yarn of cream and like soft orange with tweed, and the tweeds are orange, so they look like carrot bits, and it's super cute. And I want that yarn so bad, but I don't think anybody that I know of does like tweed yarn that has like different tweed color than like black and white, because usually that's the most easily accessible tweed yarn, I think. Because I looked up undyed yarn, and the tweed usually comes with like black and white, brown, yeah, the regular tweed colors. I've also been thinking about dyeing yarn, but I just haven't been able to set my mind on actually dyeing yarn, buy the undyed yarn, because yeah, just too many pretty beautiful indie dyer. This Hades. I forgot to talk about this. I got these stitch markers from my local yarn store, and they're wood stitch markers. I'm hiding it. I'm totally hiding it. but they have like crystals on it. Like, I don't know how they do it. Is it like they burn it, or I don't know, but it's pretty. And it's from Twistitch stitch markers, and I think the pack name is Crystal Clear. Oh, sorry, it's Crystal Clear. I think this is gonna fit up to like at least 6mm. They have like a big ring on top. So yeah, excited to use these. I think that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment on your Christmas knitting plan, your Christmas gifting plans, or if you don't have any Christmas plan, that's okay too. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!